It's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com and welcome to the EVG Venture channel where I share my experiences being an online entrepreneur and all the different things I learned on this journey to monetizing, to growing my personal brand, and all of this insight that I collect along the way. And it is currently 1 a.m. I know it probably doesn't look like it. I don't know if I've mentioned this much on this channel yet, but I am a major night owl. I actually get an extreme burst of energy between 1 and 2 a.m. So much so that I actually will often take a nap and wake myself up by 1 a.m. so that I can start working again. I find I actually have a little bit of a lull around 9 p.m. So if I schedule a 3-hour nap between 9 and 10 p.m., I'll wake up ready to go again, and then I'll just work for a few more hours, then go back to sleep. And it's something that I felt really embarrassed about for a while because it seems so abnormal. I just really love staying up super late. Sometimes I stay up until the light comes out outside. I mean, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., that's how I get charged up. And then I'll go to sleep and I'll sleep late into the afternoon. And there just aren't many people that I know that operate that way. So I wanted to start this video off by saying if you are that way too, you're not alone. And I've really begun to accept and embrace this part of myself because ultimately I want to live the life that I want to live. I want to feel happy and fulfilled. That's why I started my own online business, or really that's why I decided to turn my hobby website and content creation into my business. I felt so drawn to it. And that's really the focus of this video because I felt so inspired to record this video just now. I felt this deep sense of... It's a little distracting with Evie being so cute back there. So I know that it's good to take some focus on me to avoid looking at how cute she is. But hopefully she won't do anything else too cute to distract us. Anyways, so just a few minutes before I turned on the camera, I was sitting here feeling this really intense feeling in my heart. And I don't really know where it came from. I imagine it's because I was focused on some business things and my mind was going in all these different directions. I was thinking about things that I want to accomplish, things that I really want to do in the future. And I think that it was just this overall feeling of I want to do so much in my life and I want to do it right now. I don't want to have to wait. And I wanted to start this video just sharing that the way that I'm able to make things happen is by really doing what I want to do. It seems like such a simple concept, but I meet people all the time that don't do what they really want to do. And when you really step back to think about that, isn't that such a shame? We are so privileged, we collectively, because if you're watching this right now, you have access to the internet and technology to watch a video. That is such a new thing in human history, and even though it exists, not all humans have access to that. Some people simply can't afford it, or they live in parts of the world where this technology is not accessible. So first, we really have to stop and think, wow, we are just so fortunate. But yet, with all of this access, with all of these resources, most people are still not doing what they really want to do with their lives. They're still living lives not to their fullest potential. They still feel like so many things are out of reach. And even I, who spend so much time working towards what I really want, I still feel like there's so much that I'm not doing. There's so much that I'm getting in my own way of. And I think that was that feeling that I was experiencing of, what do I need to do? I feel this energy in my body, in my soul, in my heart that's pulling me towards these huge directions. And I see a lot of people accomplishing it. Not nearly as many people who are not accomplishing it, but enough case studies of people who are doing magnificent things with their lives. Why can't I do that? And why can't you do that? Or more importantly, why aren't we doing that? You know, a lot of people come to me and they say, Whitney, you know, I want to live life like you. I want to work for myself, but I feel like I have to work for someone else. I don't know how to work for myself. I'm scared to quit my job and take that risk. But to me, it's like I got to a point 5 years ago where I just couldn't live my life like that anymore. It was too uncomfortable to live, quote unquote, comfortably in a quote unquote regular job. And when I quit, I felt so much freedom. Of course, in addition to lots of like fear and discomfort and I don't know what I'm doing thoughts all the time, but I figured it out. And so I think the key to doing what you really want is to leap and trust that that net will appear. Stop getting in your way because we don't know how much time we have left. And we don't know what's around the corner in our lives, what circumstances will change. You know, for me, I want to be married and have children, and I often wonder what my life will be like when I start that family. I feel so grateful right now to live on my own with Evie. Evie counts, but I mean, I don't have any other people living with me. I don't have kids running around. I don't have other schedules I have to pertain to. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. It is such a beautiful part of my life that I need to constantly remind myself to be grateful for, because sometimes I start to take it for granted. And I think that so many of us, maybe you're not quite in that same circumstance. Maybe you already had a family and kids, or maybe you have a roommate, or whatever it may be. Just realize that you can make things work in those circumstances. My point in bringing that up is that we just don't know what's ahead and what it'll be like. So for me, I don't know what it's like to have a husband and children that are depending on me to help them out with things. And I have to adapt my schedule to them. I mean, there's only a certain amount of time that I'm going to be able to do what I'm doing right now. And you might be in that place where I'm looking towards in the future. But even so, you don't know what's going to be in your future. There are all sorts of different things that could pull you in different directions. So we just have to start doing things now wherever we are with whatever circumstances we're in. You could be in a circumstance that's potentially or relatively more challenging than I am, or you might be in a circumstance where perhaps you live with your parents and they're supporting you in whatever you want to do, so you don't have to worry about money. Or perhaps you have a family member or a romantic partner in your life, and they're saying, hey, do whatever you want to do, right? I mean, you might be in an easier situation like that and still feel limited. My point is we can feel limited no matter what our circumstances are, so we might as well just do something right now and stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop waiting for things to become more comfortable for us, because we just don't know what is happening tomorrow or a week from now or a month or whatever. I mean, worst case scenario, like all sorts of crazy things can happen in the world and in our government and whatnot. I mean, I just feel like we're constantly just waiting and wishing. And we just got to keep moving. I've read lots of quotes, and I don't know that directly off the top of my head, but I think Richard Branson had one that I read the other day about how when you stand still, you're actually moving backwards. Really soak that in, right? It's almost as if life is passing you by and you're just standing there. So relatively, it feels like you're moving backwards because life is going past you. And it's amazing how many people just forget about that. And then next thing they know, they're thinking, where did the last year go? I mean, I wonder that all the time. Like, I can't even believe that we're almost in May 2015. I remember thinking, I can't believe it's January 1st. And here we are, almost 5 months later. It's unbelievable. Now, of course, these are kind of obvious concepts that you might think a lot about, but my point of making this video is just to set you another reminder. And also, it really helps for me too to think about these things and verbalize them, because there's just so much I want to accomplish. And I guess there's two things at play. Is one, I have to remind myself that I am working really hard, and I have amazing people around me that will remind me of that. But I sometimes just don't feel like I'm working hard enough. And the reality is I might not be. There might be a ton of things that I could be doing and achieving things far greater than what I am right now and reaching my goals so much faster. So I want to continue to push myself, and I recommend that you too. I think there's always this important balance we need to have to not overdo it. And I certainly fall into that trap of overdoing it and putting too much work into things. But I feel like most people underdo it, or maybe even don't do it at all. They think they try to convince themselves that they are doing things, that they are happy. But if you really dig deep into most people and their feelings, they will say they want more out of life. And the ultimate point of this video is, if you're watching this, you have everything you need. No matter your circumstance, all those different scenarios you might be in your life and beyond, no matter what is happening right now, you have a choice. You have so much power. And if you are watching this video still, you have that deep passion, that desire, that curiosity. And you just have to launch yourself off that cliff. Just leap right out and say, I want this so badly, I'm just going to go, and everything's going to fall into place. Now, lastly, that's not to say that things just magically appear. We still have to work. We still have to figure things out and develop strategies and put things into action. But the biggest challenge that most people have is that they simply don't start. They don't fully believe in themselves, and they just sit there fantasizing. They know what they want, but they don't know how to go after it. And what I'm telling you is it's just a matter of going, of moving. That's the only way you can get closer to a goal, is if you move. Little by little, step by step, no matter what it is, go for it. I believe in you. I know you believe in me too. So we believe in each other here. We have this supportive environment. We just have to take those leaps and stop letting things get in our way. Well, I could just talk and talk and talk. I'm feeling so much passion right now. I'm working on editing a podcast and I'm really excited. It's episode 5 of the Real Influencer podcast. It comes out later today, Wednesday, April 22nd, which is also Earth Day. So I'm also going to be editing a video on for the main Eco Vegan Gal YouTube channel. And I've got a lot of big things happening with business right now, and just further information to help support you. You can sign up for the newsletter. I'll be sending out more regular newsletters about online business to help inspire you and push you forward and remind you that you can do it and I believe in you. So you can sign up down below. You can check out my other platforms, but I would really encourage you, the priority is to check out Real Influencer, the podcast, and the Instagram. I'm really excited about the Instagram because it's full of all sorts of inspiring entrepreneurial quotes. So check those out, read each one of them, and really meditate on what you can do next. And then I would love to hear from you. What is getting in your way? What scenario are you in right now And do you feel like any of that is, or do you feel like you're allowing your scenario to get in your way? Or are you in a position like me where you're sitting here going, this is probably as good as it's gonna get. I better do something right now before my life changes. I would love to hear from you wherever you are on your path and how I can further support you. You mean so much to me. You inspire me. I wouldn't be here doing these videos if it wasn't for you. So thank you. And I will see you next week. Bye.